Hello everybody, welcome, Trekker here, and welcome back to our Sky Factory 2. So yeah, good to catch up with you guys again, playing more Sky Factory. Just such an awesome mod, having so much fun with this. But let's get started. We've got quite a bit to get through. We've been making a few changes as well. I can't remember if I mentioned this last time or not, but this is our charge pads. Every time we stand on it, anything in our inventory which requires power gets fully charged up. So that's now 100%, and my one's 100%, and yeah, so just very useful as I spend a lot of time here crafting. These ones, I was forever putting them in here, changing them over because they run out pretty quick, so that was just something I've added on there. It wasn't too expensive to make, so yeah, so we've got ourselves a redstone charge pad. That's pretty cool. All our drives seem to be sorting themselves out, which is pretty good as well. There's none of them on red anymore, despite the fact we're having more items go in, so that's pretty good. I've automated the cobble, or the triple cobble generation. So as you can see there, we've got triple compressed cobble. We've now got 493 in the system. What we were finding was some cobblestone was finding its way in here from the quarry, as well as obviously what's going into there. So the overflow is going in here. So what I've done is basically set up this over here. So we've got 3 of these assemblers, and the way it works is that underneath here the pipe comes in from the ME system, and into here goes cobblestone, but with the recipe on here, if I press shift, it says 9 cobblestone. So basically we do a 3x3 of cobblestone. That makes double cobblestone, and as you can see on here, it comes in the bottom, it then goes out the top into this one, and then that's compressed cobblestone, which again we got the same recipe. It's a one sort of double cobblestone 9 or 3x3, and that turns it in at the top to double. And there we go, double compressed cobblestone, and then that obviously turns it into triple compressed cobblestone. It then gets ejected out the side and pushed back into the ME system. So we've automated that process because it means that then we can just have this going on the side. And what it does mean as well is when we actually get to the point of and I thought I just changed this. Sort by number of items, sort by item name, there we go. Yeah, so basically what it means, every now and then I can come down here, grab that. Did I grab anything else? No, I didn't. So let's just put our armor back on. Although we can fly, and we do have the cobble tower, and we can get down here, and I'll show you this. We've started doing it, but it's hollow in the middle. This is going to take quite a while to do, but I thought I'd build the tower up, and what I'm doing is using these nice nifty little lights on here basically, and they're inverted, so they're these things here, and it's just really using a little bit of cobblestone, not cobblestone, let's have a look at this. If we put in light and look over here, so we've got these different lights here. Some of them are powered, and then some is just a normal light, and the normal light is just, I say, a bit of iron, which we've got tons of now, glass and glowstone, and then we have the inverted version which has a torch, which means it's on all the time, it doesn't need to be powered. So they're just handy, and then it's just a simple case of coming down here with the magic wand and building this thing up as we go. And then we can kind of build in the middle once we get to that stage, really. So yeah, that's pretty good. Been doing that, and I'm just putting the lights on the side because they do illuminate your top, stop mob spawning, and all that kind of malarkey. And I think it's going to look pretty cool once we've got this tower really built up. So yeah, starting progress on that, which is pretty good. But let's head over to our power station. So this is basically where we put the reactor in last time, and I've put on here the outside of what will be the turbine. So we're connecting it directly to reactor, and my aim is that where the steam comes out, it will go directly into this. We're not going to use any pipes because that slows it up, and then when the water comes out of this, it's going to go back into the power station, and hopefully that's going to ease up that side. And we've come up with this little system here for putting in the fuel. So if we look in this here, we've got loads of yellorium, and we've got some cyanite. So all these ender chests, which are going to have triple yellow tops to them, they basically are going to contain the yellorite. And obviously it's going to pull out the cyanite. And the way we're doing this is we've just got some filters in here. If we look in this one here, no, it's this one here. Should be. Is there no filter? Where's my filter? So that's going, oh no, that's pulling out, that's why. So it doesn't matter what it pulls out, it just pulls out anything it wants. Whereas this one, and there is it. There we go. So we put an item filter on insert. It's only going to insert yellorium. So in other words, it'll pull out the yellorium out of here, and that will automatically go straight in, and then the cyanite comes out of there and it'll automatically pull out into the chest. So what we need to do is set up the top somewhere where a chest with the yellorium goes in, goes out. In fact, we do have, where's my wand? If we go back up to the base and go out this door, you'll see we've kind of set this up. So here it is, here, this ender chest. This is kind of our input output to our automation. So once we automate the yellorium process, that's where it's all going to go. So yeah, getting ready for that. Okay, so what else have we set up down here? Well, getting a bit of lag there, apologise for that. Let's have a look at this. If I can turn around. So yes, we've got some capacitor banks, and as you can see, we've got a lot of energy in there, but yeah, we might have a lot of energy, but yeah, it's going to be needed. My antivirus was trying to update then, so that made it a little bit juddery, so sorry about that. So yes, we're going to need lots of power, and as you can see at the moment, it's no problem at all. This is generating, yeah, 7,000 RF per tick and all that, and we've got the one at the top, so we've got about 20,000 or so being generated at the moment. So this is built up. However, I've got something set up at the top which we'll look at a moment, which eats all this energy. So if you can see what I've done here, I've basically got two tesseracts. This one is set to output. So as you can see on here, we've set put to energy send only, and that's sending to this channel, which is basically the turbine's power pack or power bank. Now this one here is set to receive, as you can see there, and that's called Reactor Power. So essentially any reactor or any input I've got, so for example the lava generators over there, they go into a tesseract, the same one that this reactor up here goes into. So they put into it on that channel, this draws out, so any energy from that is basically going into this capacitor bank now. So this is the storage from any of these turbines. It doesn't go anywhere else, it comes into here. So it's a bit like a buffer, if you like, which is pretty good. And what I'm going to do is essentially, this one's obviously tapped in like that, straight out the power port. Now that's fine. The problem is this can only handle 10,000 or something like that RF. So the more we generate, the more of these outputs we need. So I think this turbine is going to generate something like 27,000. So because of that, I'm going to need 3 output ports, but they're all going to go into a tesseract, and then that's going to essentially handle all of the power. So yeah, that's how I've got the system set up. So anything that needs power, it's going to draw from a central tesseract somewhere. So let me go at the top as well, and I'll show you what I've been playing with, and that's this baby, a laser drill. So yeah, I saw this in the mod pack and I thought, I wonder if it actually works, even though we're in effectively a void, which means there is no stuff. It's stuffless. It's nothing. However, let's have a look and see if it works. So, and yes, it does. So, which is quite amazing. I was quite surprised by that, but I had fun playing around with it. So at the moment, it's got a bit of energy in there. If we got these turned off, let's see. So that's got to insert the energy from there. that's extracting from there. Did we have the... yeah, so I've put redstone. Let's turn those off because I basically deactivated it, since the amount of power this thing takes is absolutely huge, and it was draining my power slowly but surely. We're not producing enough, so yeah, the amount it uses is quite a lot. Now the way this is working, so we have the laser drill and we have 4 of these laser drill pre-chargers, so I guess that's giving it the energy, and I'm guessing because of that it's using about 40,000. I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe someone can correct me on that. But there's the Tesseract. There we got it coming out from the turbine's power bank, all going into this, and we've got some yellow focuses and blue focuses, and the reason I've got those is one of the things that this gets is diamonds, and one of the things this gets is Yellorite. And if we look actually in the system, focus, no, that's not a car. So there's a yellow focus. If we press shift and right click it, so yeah, this tells us here, basically it gives us a 0.44% chance of getting Yellorite, 5% chance of that, and 5% chance of that. So I guess it kind of focuses and says it's going to get those rather than anything else. And then there's a light blue one, and again that's diamonds and shiny ore, although it does get other stuff as well, but they're the things we really want to focus on. They're the things we want it to really get. So that's why I put those in there. And these things, yeah, they're not majorly expensive. We managed to use our gold coins, which is quite handy, some emeralds, and then we just need this stained glass, which is actually the special stained glass which we got from dye. And yeah, so it's not too bad to make. It's made from clay and dye and things like that, so fairly simple to make, but boy does it use a lot of power. Now we've got this automatic set up as well, so what this is doing is stuff's going into this chest, and at the moment, in fact let's just get that out of there because it seems to take things away. So yeah, so as you can see, we've got all the different ores that are coming into here and all the different things in there, from emeralds and blah blah blah. Now this is set with a filter in to take out everything apart from these 5 items. So that's basically coal, diamonds, Yellorite, redstone and lapis. And let's just activate that, so turn that off. That should now then start pulling everything out of there apart from those things. And there you have, so we've obviously got no lapis in there at the moment. And then the other side is set to whitelist that. So if we can get it. And by the way, don't jump in these beans, you catch on fire and you nearly die. So this is set to whitelist. This will only pull out those 5 items. So again, we can do that if we get that to there. So all these items should now be gone, and what they do is they come down here and they all get pulled into the back of these pulverizers, and well, you can't even see them anymore because they've done it so fast, and they're off again. That's got some Yellorite, so it'll turn into 2 Yellorite dust, and then it's going to throw it back into the system again. So we're basically pre-pulverizing those stones because we don't want them in that state, going into this Tesseract, and then that's going into the quarry items 1. So essentially it's going back into the ME system. So yeah, nice little setup there of automation, but it does use the power. Let's go, we've had it running for a little bit, let's go and have a look at the power station. And yeah, you can see there it's using 7,000 more than we're putting into it, on top of the quarry that's obviously running and using power as well. So we're well short of power. This will run for a while because obviously yeah, it's not draining very fast, and we've managed to build up a good thing of it. So I'll probably just run it for a little bit, and then when we get really low on power I will come and turn it off. And then we've got a bit of fail-safe as well, because obviously with this running like that, what we do need to make sure is we still got our ME system and things like that running. So we've still got a capacitor bank there, which is what runs our ME system. Only a small one, but it's enough. And out here I've still got to put this all back together again, because we did kind of take it apart. But again, if I come out here and fly out here, so here you can see this is a Tesseract that's pulling all the power from there and from our lava generators, and then over here we've got this Tesseract which is pulling power into these capacitor banks. So again, they're a bit of a buffer really, that these So even if the rest of the rest of the sort of tesseracts, like that laser drill, pulls all the power and that capacitor bank's empty, these won't get any power pulled out of them other than the general things I'm using around here. So it's a bit of a fail-safe to keep my base up and running, shall we say. So we've still got quite a bit of RF stored here as well, as you can see, which isn't really getting used up that fast. So yeah, kind of handy really. What we do need to do though is get the rest of this power station online, and I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to do here yet. We've got these platforms. I wasn't sure if I'm going to put 4 of these down here. Although what I might do is get this turbine running because it's a very efficient use of our power, and then I might put a couple of really tall reactors, and then one of the things we've got to do is put a full size or maximum capacity reactor with diamond blocks, which is why I've got the laser drilling for diamonds. So we might put that there as a full size reactor, so we've got space for that. So yeah, so that might be how we do it, is we just have all those 4 reactor types pulling into one bank and see how much power we have then. And if needs be, we can stack these things. So you know, once we get this turbine up and running, we can stack these on top of each other and go up. So if we need more efficient power once we've done these other ones, then that may be the answer. So what I do need to do is get the rest of this casing on, and then once I've done that, we can then start looking at you know, what we're going to do with this and how we're going to sort of have it going out. And I think what I'm going to do is, this is really going to be, let's do it that way. I don't really need to see in this side, so we'll put that with just normal casing. And I think I'm probably going to have a little bit more glass made, but I do want the sides to be glass. I think that's going to be quite cool in terms of having that. So all I need to do is put these across, oops, like that, one, and then we can use the builder's wand to then build up the rest until we run out, and like that, and then we're going to have to get some more. Now the way these work, there's a couple of things we have to put in place. Now one of them is going to be the rotor bearing, so let's get that in now while we can. Let's put those casings there. We're also going to need some turbine blades and rotor shaft, which I don't think we need that many turbine rotor shafts. I don't know, we'll have a look. So let's go into here and let's find the middle, which I guess is just there. That looks like the middle, doesn't it? So it's 1, 2, 3, and there. So if we get rid of that, and then do we have to put it in this side? Does it matter which side we put it in? Let's have a look. That seems to work. So I believe this shaft has got to go all the way along. Now I say I believe. I've never actually done it. This is a first for setting up one of these, and that's changed colour. Why is that changed colour? Is that interesting? And I guess that's the end. Yes, we don't want to do that. Couldn't see there for the glass. Okay, so yeah, it's changed colour. Is that light effect? Don't know. Okay, so what else we need? We need these blades, and so the way these are going to go on is they go on to the side like so, and I think we can get 3. Yep, and then we can put these all the way around. Now there is a mathematical way of looking at this and deciding how many of these blades you need and what is going to be the best output. So you don't necessarily want to blade up the whole thing, okay, if that kind of makes sense. In this case we'll be using quite a few, but what we're also going to be doing is using quite a few other blocks as well. So yeah, we have to look at this and decide, and that's not the way to do it, what's going to be the sort of the maximum, if you like, that we want to put on, because you don't want to spam the whole lot. It's got to be a certain number which fits in with the speed of this, and there's a particular speed that maximizes the effect of it all, essentially. So that's something we're going to have to work out based on the steam, or I will probably just look up, to be perfectly honest, because I do have a spreadsheet which gives you the maximum outputs and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's really, I won't say complicated, but there is a lot of math involved if you really want to get into it and play around with sizes and how much steam comes out. And yeah, but we'll look at that when it comes up, and we'll try and sort of see if that works. So I'm going to just put these on here for now. In fact, we'll stop doing that, because there's the other bit I need to do, or mention that we're going to do, is we need this. Now what's going to happen is these blades, when I've got them all set up, the steam's going to hit it, they're going to rotate, okay, and then I don't know if you know much about electricity, but basically we have what is known as a coil, and the coil essentially, like so, it rotates around the coil, that generates electricity. It's simple as that really. So that's in theory how it works. Not sure whether this has got to go all to the edge or whether it's just got to be round here, but I believe we are going to need 27 of these Enderium blocks to make this as most efficient. So we have nowhere near that much at the moment. Let's see if we've got some more Enderium made up. We've got 19 at the moment, but we've got lots of essence. I've got some seeds growing, and that's going to give us more Enderium, and we can make some more blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time, because I'm going to need to make up some more stuff. I need to make some more housing glass, I need to get some more Enderium blocks, and I need to get the rest of these blades in place. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and once we've got this up and running, we will need to put in our extra ports, things like our control panel. Let's have a look. We should have some of this stuff in here already. So we've got some turbine power ports. We're going to said we need 3 of those. We've got some reactor coolant ports, so they're going to replace the power port on the reactor. And then we're going to need probably another fluid port actually, and a controller. So I need to go and make another fluid port and get the rest of that gear together, and then hopefully we can get this baby loaded up and ready to rock and roll. So one thing I did forget to mention earlier was about the laser drill. The actual laser drill himself is fairly simple to put together. However, the pre-chargers, which we've got 4 of, did require this pink slime crystal, and the only way you can get pink slime crystals is by a pink slime block, and the only way you can get pink slime that I know of is these little guys here, which is why they're bouncing around in the background here. So yeah, essentially what you've got to do is set up a slaughterhouse. So I put a slaughterhouse here, and that was then feeding into these 2 pipes and these 2 tanks, and then I put a cow in the auto spawner there in the middle. You can see the auto spawner, and so that was spawning cows. The slaughterhouse would kill the cows, and it would put meat into this tank here, and it would then put pink slime into here. As you can see, you need a lot of cows to get the amount of pink slime you need, and that, yeah, there is enough for a bucket in there. And basically what happens is you take a bucket of this, if you place it on the floor, a pink slime will spawn. So I then took that pink slime in a safari net, and I put him in the auto spawner, and off the back of that we obviously got a load of pink slime balls, like we got that slime ball that seems to be hovering around in there at the moment. By killing one of these guys you get pink slime balls, and enough of those make a slime block, and you could then put them in the furnace and get your crystals. You know, I think we're almost ready to get this thing up and running. As you can see in there, we've got 84 rotor blades. So there's 7 rows of these, 3 blades each one, so 4 blades per thing. Something I did change around, and this was telling me the blades were too far away. And I realised actually I put this rotor shaft and I put the bearing in this end wall, and what I should have done is put it in this end wall, and that makes much more sense, I guess. And we've got there all those Enderium blocks. There's 37 in total, so that's good. We've got 3 power ports, and the power ports come out through the back into a tesseract, which we haven't got labelled up yet, but that's where the power will go. I just didn't want it disappearing just yet. And then I've put a controller over here because I wanted to be able to access it and get to it easily enough. The other thing that I've added around this side is the coolant. So the difference with this is we've taken the power output out of there, and instead we've put in a coolant port with water and one of these transfer nodes, and inside there we've got a stack of each of the upgrades. So we've got a stack of speed, a stack of stack, and a stack of water interaction, and I'm hoping that's going to get the water in there fast enough, because when you now look in the controller, this is now it's outputting millibuckets per tick, and that's going to be the steam which is going to go into this slot over here. So we've got the water and it's going to produce steam, and the only thing we need to do is get the steam from the reactor into the turbine. That's then going to rotate the blades, that's going to go round this enderium coil, and that's going to generate the electricity to come out the other end. So that's how it all works. Now we've got these blocks here which essentially are reactor coolant port and the turbine fluid port. Now I was looking at these because when you look at them here, if I get my wrench out as well, I thought that what we're going to have to do is put in fact no, that's okay. I thought we were going to have, because blue is normally input and red is output, but if you look at the pattern on here, blue is pointing in, red is pointing in, and then on this one blue is pointing out. So I'm guessing what we are going to actually have to do is have it colour to colour. So we're going to have red connecting to red, blue connecting to blue. So this one will output the fluid from the turbine, because when we put the steam into the turbine, there will be coolant left over, which will then output back into the reactor. And on this one, we've got the turbine fluid port, reactor coolant port. So this is the output, so that's the steam going out, going in to the turbine. So that's how we're going to set it up, and we are going to do them back to back like that, because they can go straight into each other, I believe. So let's just get these into place, and what I'm thinking of, if I can do it, is let's burst these and that one there as well. So we want the turbine, and let's get rid of that, reactor. So we want a reactor coolant port going there. So we need the blue version of that one there. So let's just change that to blue and put that turbine glass back in, and let's go around the other side and do the same. And the only reason I'm putting there, because I think it just looks a bit better really, sort of having them side by side. And there we go. So again we get the coolant port there, but this time because they're blue we have to change it to red. And then likewise this one should already be red. It is. And I'm hoping that is it. We shall see. Let's put that back in there. It changes into a turbine. That's fantastic. And if we look into here, we've got our very, very different display. So we've got an activate, deactivate, and then that's going to show us what RF per tick we've got. And this is going to be quite important here, because as you can see on there it says rotors perform best at either 900 or 18,000 RPM. So it's not my design. I've been looking around on the internet. There's various designs of these, and this seems to be the most popular when it comes to actually getting that up towards that maximum amount of 1800 RPM. So that's what we're trying to target for. That's why we've got this number, not some more across the top, because these also add friction. So it slows the blade down. So if I add more to it, it'll slow the blade down even more. But if I take one off, it doesn't maximize it evidently. So let's see if this baby works. So I guess we activate that. We've got steam. It's getting very hot. Lots of steam there. So let's go and turn this on as well and see if we can turn the blades. That's on. Hey, it's working! Woohoo! Oh yes, it's working, and I guess this is going to tell us this control panel. So, and I think it takes a while to get it to full speed. Yeah, that's going to take quite a while to climb up there, I think, the RPM. So let's watch that and see what it does. So this is interesting. We hit the 900 RPM mark for the reactor, and it was outputting a good amount of power. But as you can see, as it's going up faster, it's actually producing less power. So I guess that's why that 900 and 1800 is the sweet spot. But it's still going up, and we're now only a shortfall of just under 3,000, whereas we were a shortfall of 14,000 sorry before. So we're producing a good amount of power there, as you can see, just under 1200 RF per tick, but it was slightly more than that a minute ago. But this is still getting faster. There we are, we're producing about as close as we can to that 1800 RF per tick, or RPM rather. 1800 RPM, we're aiming for 1796 RPM, and it was kind of creeping up very, very slowly, but I think we're about there. As you can see, that just went up 1 RF per tick, but we're doing 24,000 RF per tick. Fantastic, just what we need. So yeah, really, really happy with that. And we are producing over 9,000 RF per tick more than we actually need, 9,400 nearly, which, given that we've got the laser up there working away and 2 quarries plus the ME system and everything else, that's pretty good. We've got lots of capacity in the bank there, so to speak. Wow, so that's done. Glad I've got that running and up online. So it took quite a while to get all the resources together. We'll probably start working on our max size reactor next, which we'll probably put in this area. But yeah, that's something I'm just going to start gathering resources for, because it's going to take a lot of these reactor casings. It's going to take a lot of those Yellorium reactor things and everything else. So yeah, I think we're just going to have to start collecting those bits over time, and I think there's a challenge to cool it with diamond blocks, which is going to be really challenging. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode, guys. Please do leave a like and a comment down below. It's really appreciated, and we'll see you here next time on Sky Factory 2. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye.